If you're someone who's constantly on the move and craves cutting-edge tech, foldable phones are where innovation meets convenience, at least for me. That's why in this video, I'm going to break down the best foldable phones that I've personally tried out and tested over the years. All the products I mention are linked in the description, so feel free to check them out. Now, let's begin. At number 10, we have the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold. I have to say, this phone brings Google's software magic into the foldable world in a very refined way. The inner display is a gorgeous 7.9-inch OLED with vibrant colors and smooth 120Hz refresh rate, and the outer screen is a 6.4-inch OLED that feels just like using a regular Pixel phone. It is powered by the new Tensor G4 processor, which makes app switching fluid and camera processing lightning fast. Speaking of cameras, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold's camera setup is excellent. The main sensor captures stunning detail and dynamic range, the ultrawide is clean, and the telephoto gives sharp zoom shots. Battery life was solid in my testing, easily lasting a day with moderate to heavy use. Compared to the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip6, which I've included as number 9 on this list, the Pixel offers a more complete tablet experience. The pros include beautiful display, strong cameras, and great software. The cons include limited app optimization and premium price. At number 9, we have the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip6. This is the phone I used when I wanted something stylish, compact, and surprisingly powerful. The Z Flip6 folds down into something that easily fits into a shirt pocket, but when opened, you get a 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED display that is sharp and responsive. Samsung really improved the hinge this time. It feels sturdy, and the crease is less noticeable. The outer cover display is also more functional now, allowing quick replies and access to widgets. Performance is handled by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, and it flies through tasks with no lag. The camera setup is modest but decent, with a 50-megapixel main sensor that captures solid shots in good lighting. Compared to the Motorola Razr Plus, which I have included as number 8 on this list, the Z Flip6 offers better multitasking software support. The pros include compact form, snappy performance, and functional cover screen. The cons include average battery and mediocre zoom camera. At number 8, we have the Motorola Razr Plus. This phone screams retro vibes, but with a thoroughly modern twist. I loved using this one because of its massive 3.6-inch external display, which allows you to do way more than just check notifications. You can run full apps, type messages, and even watch videos right on the cover screen. The main display is a 6.9-inch POLED that feels buttery smooth thanks to the 165Hz refresh rate. Motorola also did a great job with animations and gestures. Everything feels intuitive. The Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip under the hood ensures performance is never an issue. The battery was surprisingly decent for such a slim phone, giving me a full day's use. Compared to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6, which I have included as number 7 on this list, the Razr Plus feels more fun but less productivity-focused. The pros include large outer screen, fluid display, and stylish design. The cons include average cameras and limited multitasking. At number 7, we have the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. This is the ultimate power user's foldable phone. When I wanted the best of both phone and tablet in one, this was my go-to device. The 7.6-inch inner display is bright, immersive, and supports multitasking like a champ. The 6.3-inch outer screen is now wider, making it easier to use one-handed. Samsung has refined the hinge, and the whole device feels lighter and thinner compared to previous generations. Performance is driven by the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, which handles intense tasks like gaming and editing with ease. Camera performance is excellent, with a 50-megapixel main sensor and solid telephoto capabilities. Battery life was surprisingly good for such a big device, lasting more than a day. Compared to the OnePlus Open, which I have included as number 6 on this list, the Z Fold 6 has better multitasking features but is bulkier. The pros include immersive display, multitasking power, and strong cameras. The cons include thick folded size and expensive. At number 6, we have the OnePlus Open. I was honestly impressed by how polished this phone felt. The 7.8-inch inner display is bright and responsive, and the 6.3-inch outer display feels like a real smartphone, not just a placeholder. What stood out to me was the lightweight design. It is significantly thinner and easier to carry than some other foldables. OnePlus also nailed the software here with multitasking that feels intuitive and fast. Powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, this phone keeps up with everything you throw at it. The cameras are surprisingly good, especially the main and ultra-wide lenses, which deliver vibrant, detailed shots. Compared to the Honor Magic V2, which I have included as number 5 on this list, the OnePlus Open feels snappier but has less battery life. The pros include slim design, fast performance, and impressive displays. The cons include below-average zoom and slightly weaker battery. At number 5, we have the Honor Magic V2. This is the phone I reached for when I wanted a foldable that felt like it belonged in a luxury category. It is the thinnest foldable I have used to date, and it still manages to pack in solid battery life and a large 7.9 2-inch inner display that looks incredible. The cover screen is 6.43 inches and also features a bright and smooth AMOLED panel. Performance is backed by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip and 16 gigabytes of RAM, so multitasking and gaming were a breeze. The camera setup is decent with a 50-megapixel main sensor, ultra-wide, and telephoto, though not quite as refined as Samsung's offering. Compared to the Google Pixel Fold, which I have included as number 4 on this list, the Magic V2 feels more futuristic but offers less camera quality. The pros include ultra-thin body, large display, and strong performance. The cons include weaker low-light photos and limited software polish. At number 4, we have the Google Pixel Fold. This was Google's first attempt at a foldable, and I think they nailed a lot of it. I like the wider aspect ratio of both the outer and inner screens. The inner screen is a 7.6-inch OLED that makes watching content and multitasking feel really natural. The outer display is 5.8 inches, but wider than most foldables, making it comfortable to type and browse. The Pixel camera experience is here in full force with a 48-megapixel main sensor and Tensor G2 chip powering features like Magic Eraser and Live Translate. Performance is solid, but not as fast as newer Snapdragon chips. Battery life was okay, but not amazing, lasting about a day with regular use. Compared to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3, which I have included as number 3 on this list, the Pixel Fold has better cameras but less refined durability. The pros include sharp cameras, natural aspect ratio, and clean software. The cons include slow charging and heavy design. At number 3, we have the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3. Even though this phone is a generation older, I still think it holds up surprisingly well. The inner display is 7.6 inches and features a smooth 120 Hz refresh rate, perfect for watching movies or gaming. The outer screen is slim but usable, and you get solid multitasking features thanks to Samsung's software. Performance is powered by the Snapdragon 888, and while not as fast as newer chips, it is still capable for most tasks. The cameras are decent but not class-leading. I appreciated the IPX8 water resistance, which gives it a durability edge. Compared to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, which I have included as number 2 on this list, the Fold 3 is cheaper but lacks refinements in speed and display quality. The pros include large display multitasking features and water resistance. The cons include older chipset and bulky build. At number 2, we have the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. This one felt like a perfect balance between productivity and polish. The inner display is just as large and immersive as the Fold 6, and the new hinge design makes it close flat, which improves portability. The outer screen is responsive and useful, and both displays support stylus input. Performance is handled by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and it absolutely flies through every task I threw at it. Battery life was solid, and the cameras delivered consistent results in all conditions. Compared to the Motorola Razr Ultra, which I have included as number 1 on this list, the Fold 5 offers better multitasking, but is less pocketable. The pros include fast performance, great displays, and refined hinge. The cons include high price and average zoom. At number 1, we have the Motorola Razr Ultra. This phone combines nostalgia with the best of modern tech in a very satisfying way. I love the full-size 3.6-inch outer screen, which lets you do almost everything without opening the phone. The inner screen is a 6.9-inch POLED panel that is sharp and ultra-smooth. Motorola has kept this phone light and stylish, with a design that feels premium and durable. The Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 handles all tasks smoothly, and the battery life is better than expected, easily lasting a full day. The camera setup is not groundbreaking, but it gets the job done in most situations. Compared to the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold, which I have included as number 10 on this list, the Razr Ultra is more compact but less versatile. The pros include compact design, responsive outer screen, and fluid animations. The cons include basic cameras and fewer software features.